I hope that I can be heard now. Testing, testing, hello, hello. Can you hear me? My producer, I'm waiting for my producer to tell me if she can hear me or not. Hello. So I'm having a little bit of video trouble again today. Just like the thing I do is have video trouble all the time. I guess it's okay. Can you hear me? Alright. I'm sure she would tell me if she couldn't hear me. So I'm just going to go ahead and start talking. Hi, it's story time. I have a crown on because this is fairy tale week and I like to wear crowns. I hope you are having a lovely week. I will tell you that, first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about fairy tales in case you don't know. Fairy tales are stories with a little bit of magic in them, and fairy tales are stories that are told all over the world. Some fairy tales are told in every single country. For example, Cinderella is a fairy tale that every country has their own version or type of that same story. So some of the main details stay the same, while some of the other details change. So tonight's very first fairy tale of the week is going to be one of those stories where there are some things that are really common elements of lots of different stories, and we even tell some stories today that have some of the same things. So it's kind of like a base, and we build on top of it. So tonight's story is one of those stories that has some magic in it and superpowers. And it has one other interesting thing. When I was a kid, one of my favorite things was to meet people who had a sibling, a brother or sister, who looked just like them. And usually people who look just alike are born on the same day. Or sometimes one is born at night and one is born the next morning. Those people, if there are two of them, those people are called twins. And we have a couple of twins, like my friend Eleanor is a twin, and a couple of our other friends are twins. There are also kids with 3 siblings that are born at the same time, and those are triplets. But our story is not about twins or triplets. It's about a group of brothers. That is a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you imagine having 7 brothers who look just like you, or sisters? That would be crazy. It would be so much fun. So this is the story of the 7 Chinese brothers. This is a story that's mainly told in China. I've never heard this story told anywhere else. Recently, maybe I heard one, but it was a grown-up story. It wasn't really a fairy tale. So the person who took the fairy tale that lots of people had told and rewrote it into her own here was Margaret Mahy. And the illustrator for this book, there are 2 of them. It's Jean and Mousian Tseng. So they are really famous, actually. The illustrators are really famous for a lot of their illustrations. They've won some awards. They have so many amazing awards that they've won. And they live in New York, here in America. And then Margaret Mahy is actually from New Zealand. And she has won some awards too. In fact, this is an award-winning book. So, I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. The 7 Chinese brothers. This is the first fairy tale that I remember hearing when I was a kid. So, here goes. The 7 Chinese brothers. Here's the first flap. Nothing exciting really there. There's nothing on this page. But there's this really interesting background art here. Well, that's kind of fun. And there's a really special note in the beginning of this book. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because this book is kind of a long one, but it tells just a little bit about the history of the emperor in the story. The emperor, remember my crown? The emperor is, here's the word emperor. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's kind of like a king. And China had a lot of emperors. They had quite a few emperors. They were pretty famous for having emperors. And in this book, the emperor is a bad guy. And they actually used a real life person who was one of the first emperors in China as the bad guy. Oops. In fact, you might know who this guy is because he helped build the Great Wall of China. And actually, in this story, the story begins talking about the Great Wall of China, which, if you've never heard of it, it's a really huge wall, and it borders China and protects it. It's still there today. You could go and you can walk on this wall. Maybe not right this minute, but it's there. So this emperor actually did a lot of good things, but he also did a lot of things that were maybe not so good. So, you know, some people do lots of good things and lots of bad things, and you just have to decide which one you're going to talk about, you know? And the author of this book decided to talk about some of the bad things. So here we go. Here's the artwork. It's so beautiful. Once upon a time, when Qin Shi Huang was emperor of all China, 7 remarkable brothers lived together on a beautiful hillside. They walked alike, they talked alike, and they even looked so much alike, it was hard to tell one brother from the brother next to him. All the same, each brother had something special about him. Every brother had one amazing power, all his own. The first brother had amazing eyes. Oh, sorry, wrong one. That's second brother. Sorry, first brother, my bad. Had amazing ears. He could hear a fly sneeze from 100 miles away. Second brother had amazing eyes. He could look right across 100 miles and see the fly sitting on the Great Wall of China. The third brother was very, very strong. He was a man of unusual strength who could walk across China in a straight line, picking up any mountains that got in his way and putting them carefully back down. The fourth brother was strong too because he had bones of iron. Kind of like the Man of Steel. Recognize him? Hey Superman, what's up? Good to see you. Just flying through? Okay, have a nice day. The fourth brother had bones of iron that wouldn't break or buckle or bend. The fifth brother had legs that could grow as tall and as thick as tree trunks. Kind of like, you know, Mrs. Incredible. The sixth brother never, ever, ever got too hot. I don't even have a picture for that. He was just like, I could sit on the sun. It's fine. No matter how hard he worked under the summer sun. As far as the seventh brother, he was the baby. Everyone took care of him. And they all tried to keep him smiling and happy because when he cried, he wept tears that were so big. Each tear was big enough to drown a whole village. They tried really hard to keep him from crying. It's only fair. Let me take my crown off. So, the 7 brothers lived happily together. By the way, here are the pictures of all 7 brothers. So there's the one that can see really well, the one that can hear really well, the strong guy, the guy with iron bones, the guy with super stretchy legs, the guy that never got hot, and then the one that cries really big tears. Here they are again. Here are the first two brothers. The 7 brothers lived happily together, and the 7th brother never had anything to cry about. But one day, as they worked on the hillside, the first brother lifted his head with his amazing ears on either side of it and said, "Oh, I can hear such a moaning and groaning 100 miles away by the Great Wall of China. Second brother, take a look and tell me what the trouble is about." There's the Great Wall. Uh-oh. But look what's happening here. Second brother turned on his far-seeing eyes and said, "Ah, yeah, there's an enormous hole in the Great Wall of China. I can see hundreds of men working day and night and day. They look so tired and weak. Maybe they're not allowed to sleep or eat until that hole in the Great Wall is repaired." There's the emperor. The emperor is making them work so hard that they might not even live through it. That's not good. Oh, look at them. They're trying to decide what to do about it. Somebody is being really unjust and unfair, and so the brothers think maybe they should do something about it. So this is what they say. "Ah, yeah, I can't bear it," cried the 7th brother, who was always hungry himself. He looked like he might start to cry. "Oh, no. Don't do that, 7th brother." He wanted to cry in sympathy with the poor, hard-working men. Look, oh, you can actually see him starting to get really upset. And remember, if he cries, he can drown a whole village with one tear. That's not a good idea. Don't do it. So, don't cry, the 3rd brother said quickly. "I will go and help them." Third brother is the strong brother. He's the really strong guy. So off he went quickly, and he got there in half a minute. Less than no time. He set to work at once, tossing great stones from one hand to the other like they were feathers. By the time darkness came, the hole was completely filled. Everybody got to go home. So 3rd brother decided to lay down and take a nap. So far, so good. No problem. That's the good story. Uh-oh. Look who is here. The emperor. And he looks like he's thinking a thought that might not be super nice. When the emperor heard that a single man had repaired the hole in the wall in one afternoon, he was not at all grateful. Indeed, he looked really worried. A man as powerful as this is more trouble than he is worth, thought the emperor to himself. Strong men can be very useful to an emperor, but this one is too strong. One army might not even be enough to stop him. Now this happens all the time in superhero movies. Have you ever seen one where they're like, "Okay, the superheroes are getting too strong, we've got to do something here"? Well, apparently it also happened in ancient China the same way. When the 3rd brother woke up from his nap, he found himself surrounded by not one, but 2 armies. By the command of the celestial emperor, whose face is more dazzling than the rising sun, you are to be executed in the morning. Take this prisoner to the palace of the emperor, they ordered. Oh no. He was just trying to help, but now he's scared the emperor, who doesn't have superpowers. And now they're taking him to the prison, and they're going to kill him. Ooh, that's not good. You can't come back from killing. Nope. Oh, well, 100 miles away, on the beautiful hillside, the first brother heard the third brother crying. Uh-oh, he said. Third brother must be in trouble, he exclaimed. So second brother looked into the distance with his super powerful eyes. Ah, yeah, third brother has been taken to the palace. He's surrounded by 2 armies. They're going to execute him in the morning. No wonder he's crying. Don't worry, said third brother. Don't worry, said fourth brother. Now, I don't know if you remember, but fourth brother is the one that's kind of like Superman. His bones are made of steel. So he said, don't worry, I will change places with him. Oh, that's a good idea. The celestial emperor, whose face is more dazzling than the rising sun, can try cutting my head off as many times as he wants to. Maybe it'll make him feel better. Off he went as quickly as he could, and he got there in half a minute, less than no time. He sneaked in between the 2 armies to the third brother, who was wide awake, waiting for him. So, third brother, the one with the strength, went home, and fourth brother, the guy with the steel bones, took his place. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my goodness. So the next day, look what happened. His bones of steel made the knife break, the sword break. That's pretty funny. All the next day, the officers of the 2 armies tried over and over again to behead the fourth brother, but no sword was strong enough. Sword after sword bent and broke on his bones of iron. In the end, they were forced to confess to the mighty emperor, whose whisper is like the rumble of thunder, that they simply could not behead their prisoner. A man with bones of iron! The mighty emperor roared. Drown him in the sea tomorrow. I love it too, Brenda. It's my first fairy tale I ever heard. When the fourth brother heard that he was going to be drowned, he was very upset. Obviously, who wouldn't be? Bones of iron won't bend or buckle and break, but they will definitely sink. Oh, no. And he burst into tears. Oh, no. There he is. He's imagining himself sinking to the bottom, all tied up between the 2 armies. Remember, there's 2 armies there, and there's the emperor hanging out. Oh no. No. This will not do. 100 miles away on the beautiful hillside, of course, first brother heard fourth brother crying. He started to cry too, and fourth brother is crying, he said. Second brother looked into the distance, far beyond the hills, and he said, tomorrow morning they're going to drown fourth brother. No wonder he's crying. Don't worry, said fifth brother, interrupting. I will change places with him. The mighty emperor, whose whisper is like the rumble of thunder, can try to drown me as many times as he likes. Maybe it'll make him feel better. Off he went as quickly as he could, and got there in half a minute. He tiptoed past the guards to fourth brother, who was awake and waiting for him. Swiftly, they switched places, and fourth brother went home. The next day, the soldiers of the 2 armies tried and tried to drown the fifth brother. They threw him into the deep sea, but his legs stretched and grew so quickly The water only came up to his knees. Then they tried throwing him into deeper water, but the deep, deep water only reached as far as his waist. Oh. Look at those legs. Can you see his feet on the bottom of the ocean? That's so funny. Just like Mrs. Incredible. Elastigirl. Finally, they threw him in the deepest part of the sea, but even in the deepest part of the sea, the waves only came up to his neck. The waves broke under his chin. Ah, said fifth brother, smiling happily. How lovely and cool is the deepest of the deep water. He's like, vacation. The emperor, of course, did not like that. He is more dangerous than I ever imagined, muttered the splendid emperor, whose merest glance was like a flash of lightning. He won't drown, but he might burn. Into the fire with him tomorrow morning, declared the emperor. Oh my goodness. This is not getting any better. Of course, when he was told his fate, the fifth brother burst into tears. Far away on the beautiful hillside, first brother heard fifth brother's cries. Second brother looked right across 100 miles to the Great Wall of China. "Ay-ya!" he cried. Oh. Let me just ask Elastigirl to move over. Tomorrow morning they're going to burn fifth brother alive. No wonder he's crying. Don't worry, said sixth brother. Afraid that seventh brother might start crying too. Oh no, that would not be good. I'll take its place. The splendid emperor, whose merest glance was like a flash of lightning, can bake me all day long if he wants, he said with a shiver. Maybe it will make him feel better. So, of course, off he went as quickly as he could and got there in half a minute, less than no time. He tiptoed between the two armies and found fifth brother, who was awake and waiting for him. So fifth brother went home and sixth brother took his place. Oh my goodness, look at that. What? And look at the look at him. He's like, "Ah, I'm finally warm enough. I've been so chilly." The next day, the two armies ran back and forth, bringing kindling wood, brushwood, and driftwood in bundles, and also dried grass. They built such a big fire that the smoke of it drifted from one end of China to the other. China is really huge. That would be really hard to do. But sixth brother never ever felt too hot. Basking in the heat of the blaze, he actually sighed with happiness. How kind of the noble emperor to let me warm myself by his fire, he cried. That is so crazy. Well, the emperor wasn't feeling very happy about this. As you can see, the noble emperor, whose slightest frown made the land shake like an earthquake, was furious. "Send for the royal archers," he ordered. "In the morning I will shoot this man full of arrows." And, as we can predict, sixth brother burst into tears. Oh no. Now they've gone through every single brother. What do you think they're going to do now? There's only one brother left, but he's the one that cries so much that he would drown everybody. I don't know. Well, over on the beautiful hillside, the first brother heard the sixth brother crying, of course. Oh, look, there they are. Second brother, he asked. What do you see? Ah, yeah, said second brother. Tomorrow morning they're going to shoot him full of arrows. The brothers looked at each other. There's nothing we can do, said the first brother. We can't leave the sixth brother to die alone. We will go to the emperor, whose slightest frown makes the land shake like an earthquake, and he can shoot arrows through all of us. At least we'll be together. Well, as one can imagine, that did not go well with seventh brother. The brothers started their journey to the palace, but poor seventh brother was so upset that he couldn't help crying just a little. His first tear was as big as the longest river in China. It rolled into a single drop. His second tear was as big as the second largest river. Both tears were as salty as the sea. A great ocean of waves, swept down the road ahead of the brothers. It swept for 100 miles. Seventh brother's first tear swept away one army. Look, there they are, getting washed away. His second tear swept the other army away. There they go. Those tears could come in handy. As for the emperor, well, he was tossed so high and so far that he is still trying to get back to his palace today. Seventh brother's flood of tears swept over the Great Wall, flowed all the way into the Yellow Sea, and all the way back again in half a minute, less than no time. Sixth brother was free. He hurried back up the road, while his 6 wonderful brothers hurried down the road. They were reunited at the Great Wall. Whoa, you can see them. Oh, look at them. Hey, guys. Hey, there he is. Oh. And now they're together again. Fish! Cried fifth brother. The wave had washed hundreds of glistening fish ashore. There they were, flipping and flapping, piled all the way up to his knees. Wood! Cried the third brother, gathering a forest to start a fire. Fourth brother snapped his iron fingers together with his iron thumb, and a spark leapt out to start a fire. Fire! He cried, laughing. Oh, I'm so hungry, said seventh brother. Now that we're all together again, we can have dinner and forget our troubles. I promise never to cry again unless I absolutely must. So, the 7 Chinese brothers sat themselves down around a warm fire and feasted on delicious fish. For after such a worrying week, they were all very, very hungry. This was the longest story we've ever done. Sorry it went so long, but I love this story. Tomorrow we'll read another fairy tale. Oh, sorry, Suki. I feel like she's gonna really fuss at me when I get off. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming for tonight, and I am looking forward to reading some more fairy tales. All the rest of our fairy tales are a little bit shorter, so I won't keep you so late next time. I hope you sleep well and dream of all of the exciting things that you could do if you were one of these guys. Bye!